Ой-ой.
Okay.
The sentence thoracic aorta perforates diaphragm, comes into the abdominal cavity, lies in front of the vertebral column, and is called abdominal aorta. In front of the fifth lumbar vertebra, it divides into two iliac common arteries, iliac common right and iliac common left. This abdominal aorta, like thoracic aorta, gives at first two groups of the branches, parietal and visceral. But visceral branches subdivide into the per and unper. You can see parietal branches. Parietal branches, if you remember how the aorta exits, do you see, here it is deeply, it gives opposite branches to the diaphragm. They are called phrenic inferior arteries. Phrenic inferior arteries. Right and left. You can see here, when this abdominal aorta goes in front of the lumbar vertebrae, it gives, do you see, to each side the four lumbar arteries. Arteria lumbalis, four on each side. And you can see here, do you know monkey? If do you see monkey will stand like here, you will look at its legs. What you will see also? Tail, which hangs below. You can see this is one leg, this is another leg, and do you see? And here is a tail. Do you see? This tail is called, where is it called? Sacral median artery, arteria sacralis mediana. It is long. It passes through the posterior wall of the pelvic box or through the posterior wall of the lower floor of the abdominal cavity. These are parietal branches. Two will come to upper wall, to the diaphragm from lower, four to right side, four to left side, to the lateral, those posterior and lateral walls, and one will, do you see, come below into the pelvic box for its posterior wall. These are visceral branches. Another branches, these are parietal branches, excuse me. Another branches are visceral branches. At first, very easy, the visceral pair branches. We have pair organs of the abdominal cavity. What are pair organs of the abdominal cavity? Kidney. On upper polar of the kidney situated suprarenal gland. And in the pelvic box of the female organism is placed ovary gland. And from abdominal cavity through the fetal life exits into the scrotum the testis. If the testis exits from its place for the development into the scrotum, it takes from abdominal cavity together with its testicular artery. Do you understand? You can see this, do you see, is kidney. Do you see? You can see this is aorta. From aorta, this is, do you see, begins from aorta. Do you see? This is vein. This is renal artery. If you remember, renal artery comes to the hilum, to the door, and subdivides into the superior polar, central, and inferior polar, which from medial to lateral will direct and will subdivide many times to the cortex. In the cortex, from them, in the cortex, they will connect by arc arteries. From arc arteries will begin the afferent vessels. You can see this is renal artery on right side and the same on left side. On the upper polar, do you see, of the kidney sits the suprarenal gland. To the suprarenal gland directs suprarenal medial artery. Suprarenal medial artery, this is branch of the abdominal aorta, visceral branch. If this branch begins from aorta, this will be general for the suprarenal gland. It starts from aorta, do you see? But this is suprarenal gland. Do you remember? cortex, medullary part, glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, the genital glands, genital hormones, do you remember? Also the adrenaline, noradrenaline, and mediators of the nerve system, do you remember? Because very important. And suprarenal gland, like thyroid gland, like another glands, must have the very best blood supply. You can see very general artery, this is suprarenal medial, which starts from aorta. But by upper polar, suprarenal gland joins to the diaphragm. Forward artery is very easy to give it branch. Phrenic inferior artery will give the suprarenal superior from upper. From, here is cut, from renal artery, do you see? From lower above must come the suprarenal inferior artery. Suprarenal superior from phrenic inferior, suprarenal inferior from renal arteries. These are helping arteries. And the anastomosis with subdivisions of the suprarenal medial, which is visceral branch of the abdominal aorta. And this is male organism. And you can see this is inguinal canal. Do you see? Do you see? This is inguinal canal. Do you see? Into spermatic cord completes into the spermatic cord, do you see? Into the spermatic cord, do you see? Completes this artery. Do you see? Do you see? It begins from aorta. Where it begins? At level where started to the kidney renal artery. Why? Do you remember? The genital glands, they developed together by same level like kidney, do you see, like urinary system. And through the fetal life they change their position, but germ for the development of the genital organs and urinary organs will be same germ. Did you understand? You can see renal artery, suprarenal medial artery, and testicular artery for male organism. For female will be ovary artery. These are visceral branches, only three. Renal, suprarenal medial, and testicular. If we will describe the blood supply of the suprarenal gland, you can see here will be some extra arteries. Did you understand? Which will come from phrenic inferior and from renal. Another visceral branches. Look please here, the first branch, you can see, look please here, this is aorta, you can see, this is aorta, and here begins from aorta this artery. Do you see, this artery? It is called celiac trunk, truncus celiacus, trunk, you see, for the subdivision. It divides into three branches. Two branches go to left, one branch goes to right. Gastric left artery directs to the lesser curvature of the stomach, and before it's easy to the lesser curvature, gives the esophageal abdominal branch for the blood supply of the esophagus. Do you remember I explained you, esophagus has common arterial net alone of the whole existence. Cervical region of this net gets blood from thyroid inferior, thoracic region from esophageal arteries, which are branches of the aorta, abdominal region from esophageal abdominal artery, which is branch of the gastric left. Did you say? Another artery, splenic artery. Look please here, splenic artery behind of the stomach, in front of then the pancreas, directs to the spleen. Do you see? It's called splenic artery. When splenic artery goes behind of the stomach, it goes behind of the stomach. Do you see? This is stomach. It gives one branch which subdivides to the lesser curvature and to the greater. Another branch to the lesser curvature and to the greater. And the number of the same branches will be 3 or 4. They are called, do you see? The splenic artery, do you see? And these branches, which will subdivide on the posterior wall. These branches are called gastric short. They are very short from splenic. Do you see? Gastric short arteries. When the splenic artery comes to the greater curvature, before its visit into the spleen, it gives branch, do you see, to the greater curvature. And from left to right will direct this branch, which is called gastroepiploic left. You can see here comes to the left side of the lesser curvature and will travel from left side to the right. And here do you see will come to the greater curvature from left side, and from it will travel to the right. This is called gastric left along of the lesser curvature, gastric right along of the greater curvature. When do you see the splenic artery? It goes in front of then the tail of the pancreas. It gives pancreatic branches to the tail of the pancreas. Splenic artery directs from celiac trunk to the left side. And when it goes behind of the stomach, gives 3 or 4 gastric short arteries. It gives gastroepiploic left artery, which travels by greater curvature from left side to right. And it gives pancreatic arteries to the tail of the pancreas. And by its distal continuation, it enters into the spleen. Do you understand? This is splenic artery. Another artery, this is hepatic common artery. This is hepatic common artery, it directs to right side. From hepatic common artery begins, do you see, branch, now I will show it you, and directs behind of the pyloric region of the stomach below. When it is located behind of the pyloric region of the stomach, it will subdivide. But this branch which starts from hepatic common is called gastroduodenal artery, arteria gastroduodenalis. Behind of the pyloric region, it divides into the gastroepiploic right, which will travel from right side by greater curvature to left and will have meeting anastomosis with gastroepiploic left from splenic. Do you understand? Another branch, do you see, will come to the duodenum and to the pancreas from upper, and it's called pancreatic duodenal superior. Gastroduodenal artery, behind of the pyloric region subdivides into the pancreatic duodenal superior, which supplies upper part, descending part of the duodenum and head of the pancreas, and gastroepiploic right, which travels along of the greater curvature for the anastomosis with gastroepiploic left. Next branch, look please here, next branch. Next branch do you see, it will start from hepatic common artery and will pass along of the lesser curvature. It's called gastric right. Gastric right from hepatic common will go from right side by lesser curvature, gastric left from celiac trunk by left side. Do you see? On the lesser curvature they will do anastomosis. You can see lesser curvature, gastric left, gastric right. They do lesser gastric cecal. Do you see? Gastroepiploic right, left gastroepiploic right. They do greater gastric cecal. Do you remember? Gastric short. This will be breaches between lesser and greater cecal. Did you understand? You can see after giving of the last artery, which is called gastric right, first of all was gastroduodenal, this is gastric right, hepatic common artery changes name. It will called hepatic propria. Hepatic propria. Hepatic propria will subdivide into the right lobal artery and left lobal artery. From right lobal artery begins cystic artery for the blood supply of the gallbladder. You can see hepatic propria artery will subdivide into the Lobal right, lobal left. From right begins the cystic artery for the blood supply of the gallbladder. This is celiac trunk, which divided into the hepatic common, which gave gastroduodenal, gastric right, the gastric left artery, which gives the esophageal abdominal, splenic artery, which gives gastric short, pancreatic, gastroepiploic left. The topography of the celiac trunk, it does start from aorta in front of then the first lumbar vertebra. This. Look please here, another artery. My dear patient, listen to me. Do you see? This is another artery. Do you see? It is called mesenteric superior artery. This is mesenteric superior vein. Look please here. I will take, do you see the beginning of this artery? Look please here. Do you see? You can see this is celiac trunk. Do you see? And here is mesenteric superior artery. Do you see? They begin, do you see, by joining. One, do you see, starts from in front of, and two, it's from lower, joins beginning of the mesenteric superior artery. Did you understand? Mesenteric superior artery, when it goes behind of the pancreas by short distance, and it gives to the pancreas pancreatic duodenal inferior artery. Do you remember? The gastroduodenal gave pancreatic duodenal superior. The mesenteric inferior gives pancreatic duodenal inferior. For the horizontal part of the duodenum, ascending part for the body of the pancreas. If you remember, the tail was supplied by pancreatic branches from splenic artery. They will do common net. If the one artery will not bring the blood, another artery will bring the blood. Did you understand? Okay. From mesenteric superior artery to the 5 meters of the small intestine will go intestinal branches. If they will go to the jejunum, they are called jejunal. If they will go to the ileum, they are called iliac. Look please here, these intestinal branches are very interesting. Do you see, they are placed very compactly, and the number of them can be 12, can be 14, can be 16 individually. But you can see they start very compactly. Now, for example, do you see, from 1 centimeter? Do you see? And they go distally, and each from them subdivide. Do you see? Each from subdivisions will subdivide. Each from subdivisions will subdivide. And you can see from 1 centimeter, do you see, the arteries will come to the 60 or 80 centimeters of the intestine. Yes? And you can see here 2 branches, do you see, they will subdivide. Here will be arteries anastomosis. Here will subdivide again, arc anastomosis. Now I will show you. Do you see? Everywhere you can see, do you see arcs? Do you see? Everywhere you can see anastomosis. And for the jejunum will be 3 levels of the division of the arteries for the visit to the jejunum. For the ileum will be 2 levels. They will divide twice. Do you see? About what I want to inform you. From 1 centimeter began 2 arteries and came to the 70, 80, 60 centimeters. Listen to me. When you will do operation about any problem of the intestine, for the decreasing of the bleeding, you cannot ligate 2 arteries which are placed near. Because, do you see, here will be supplied, here will be supplied, the center will be necrosis. Do you see? Do you see? You can ligate 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th. or opposite, second, fourth, sixth. The bleeding will decrease, but you can see from different regions the blood will come to the center. Did you understand? You can see these are intestinal arteries which will go to the small intestine, to jejunum. They are called jejunal, and they subdivide before visit to the concrete intestine three times, and for the ileum 2 times. You can see this is cecum. From mesenteric superior artery to the cecum comes artery. This is last part of the small intestine. What is the name? Ileum. This is first part of the large intestine, cecum. But how by Latin is called the large intestine? Colon. This is colon. This is ileum. Yes? Colon begins by cecum. If we will speak about concrete this angle, it is called ileocecal angle. If we will speak about artery, do you see? Artery is called ileocolic artery, colon. Do you see? And ileocolic artery divides into the iliac and the cecal. Do you see? From cecal artery begins and directs into the vermiform process the appendicular artery, arteria appendicularis. You can see ileocolic artery divides into the iliac and cecal. About what I want to inform you. Students don't think. For example, last time I asked Russian student how the small intestine is supplied. They answered me. Intestinal arteries, jejunal and iliac. My dear, when you will answer on any question, try to think about this question, try to think about this object. Because pancreatico-duodenal superior, pancreatico-duodenal inferior, duodenum is a small intestine, jejunal iliac from intestinal, and ileocolic. If it includes in its name ileum, if it gives iliac branch, it also supplies the small intestine. Did you understand? Because think with attention. You can see another branch, it goes, another branch, it goes to the ascending colon. It's called, where is placed ascending colon? On right side, colic right. Colic right artery divides into the descending branch, which anastomosis with the cecal, and into the ascending branch, which will anastomosis with another artery. Did you understand? And the last branch of the mesenteric superior artery, it goes above, is called colic medial artery, arteria colica media. You see? It divides into the right branch and the left branch. Left branch will anastomosis with ascending branch of the colic right. Did you understand? You can see mesenteric superior artery gave pancreatico-duodenal inferior. It gave from 12 till 16 intestinal, which subdivide into the jejunal and iliac. Ileocolic artery, which subdivides into the iliac and cecal. The cecal gives appendicular artery, arteria appendicularis. And mesenteric superior artery gives colic right, which divides into the descending and ascending anastomosis with cecal branch of the ileocolic. Ascending branch anastomosis with right branch of the colic medial, which starts from mesenteric superior artery. This you can see, this is mesenteric superior artery. In front of them the, oh my dear, what is it? Mesenteric inferior artery. It begins, do you see, in front of then the third lumbar vertebra from aorta. And it gives two left side, it gives to left side colic left artery, which divides into the ascending branch, which anastomosis with left branch from colic medial. Do you see? And descending branch, which will go below. It gives superior and inferior sigmoid arteries. Superior sigmoid artery, anastomosis with descending branch of the colic left. And do you see the last, like concrete continuation of the mesenteric inferior artery, rectal superior artery. Rectal superior artery will come to the upper portion of the rectum. Around of the rectum will be rectal arterial plexus. To upper part into this common plexus, the blood will come by rectal superior from mesenteric inferior. To the medial and to the lower will come from another arteries, which we will study by next time. Did you understand? Ну все. Study by you.